Hey, Mark. Hey, Elijah. How you doing, fellas? Hey, we got Matchum here. Matchum Metalworks. What has your name been all along? What tag have you been using? Because Matchum recently did some changing in his business name. If you're not following Mike on social media, Mike has a really cool account. He's been doing great with his content. He is a professional fabricator and he produces some really cool content. So if you're on Instagram or on Facebook, those types of things, follow him up. Matchum Metalworks, you can see there. But he posts, I think, pretty much daily now, eh, Michael? Probably multiple times a day with stories and stuff like that. We got Brad King here, Nathan, Ryan's here, Moose Knuckle. Is there anything this man can't do? Oh, a lot, too much. Brad King is here. He's asking, how is Mark's granddaughter doing? We've been asking every week. Treatment finished, not too sure where from here. Starting our Make-A-Wish activities with a family. Great. Mark's still not too much trouble with her treatments that she had. I guess still waiting on those scan reports and stuff back. Oh, I see Gerald is here. Strapped and Dangerous is here. Oh, Chad's here. Good evening, guys. If you could hit the like button, that would be awesome. If you could head to knives.ca and pick yourself up some cool merch, that would be cool. I'm currently working on getting some fall restock for the merch. Some warm gear, some hoodies. The black mesh backs are a work in progress. So yeah, we want to get that back in stock. Maybe even some toques, because it was, I think, late spring, early summer before I really put the merch live on the site. And it's been doing pretty well. I haven't been pushing it much other than wearing it a little bit, but my content has been sparse, so that's not helping me too much. But still lots of great stuff on there if you want to grab something. But I was wondering, actually, while I'm on this topic, what do you think I was thinking of? So our shop shirts here have the embroidered K&N Knives Newfoundland on the chest pocket. What would you guys think of doing the hoodie like that? Instead of the big chest graphic, doing like a real nice embroidered corner pocket? What do you think? If you would pass your opinions, I'd appreciate it. But that's what I'm considering trying out. What's my week been like? It has been a fantastic week here. 2 good heat treats and some beautiful, and 2 heat treats in a single week, if you're wondering, is good for this shop. I don't think we've ever hit 3 heat treats in a week, because that means 3 grind batches, and that would be a lot of time at the grinder, a lot of time at the grinder for handle work and for blade work. So, but we're averaging now, like, it's a good week when we get 2 heat treats, not just 2 heat treats, but 2 sets of knives done, complete in the week. That's a good week. A shop shirt. I don't know what, like this style. These are really, really nice work shirts. really, they're not too heavy, right kind of in the sweet spot. But I just got those, a whole bunch of them for me and Dad, 5, 6 shirts each or something like that, maybe, all identical, so we could just wear them every week or every day, pretty much here in the shop. Both of us have them on, and it's been a nice feel. It's been a nice professional look, I think. And this summer has been different than all other summers. Now we've been getting a lot of tourists stop by, people traveling down here actually just to stop by, just to see the K and Knives workshop. And so I think it's a really nice professional look. Dad and I are both in our matching K and Knives shirts. Dad often has a hat on as well. I don't usually wear a hat. I wear like a beanie while I'm working here in the shop, but it's a good look. I don't know if I want to release the nice button-ups, but I can see that you guys want. There's definitely a need. The one thing about this style of shirt is they are pricey. I kind of splurged a little bit for them because they are our everyday work shirts and they're good material. But you don't want like a thin cotton shirt like you'd wear with dress pants or something. You want like a good heavy material shirt that you can wear with jeans, and that's a good shirt around the farm or that type of thing. Out fishing. Yeah, a different color for you small folk. Maybe I'll consider that. I will consider that, certainly. I see Brenton's here. Welcome, Brenton. I'm not sure if I missed anyone. My apologies if so. But I'll see about adding the shirts. Oh, I see Clinton there just mentioned blue denim. Yeah, I would like that. Actually, I tried for these to be navy blue because blue is sort of a bit of theme color. The official K and Knives logo and sign out on the front of the shop is almost like this blue, a navy blue on the sign when you pull up to the building. And it's what I have the face of when you come in the shop and you inside the shop and you look at K and Knives from inside. It's all that dark navy blue. It's kind of coming through. So I wanted the blue shirts. And I've always been a big fan of like dark navy blue. It's kind of my color. And I look really pretty in it. Really handsome. Everyone, if I'm wearing blue, everyone's telling me. People are pulling over in their cars, pulling over, flagging me down. People coming out of their houses, waving me down, telling me how handsome I am. So I don't wear it too often for that reason alone. It causes problem, but yeah, I really like the blue. Pink and blue, I don't know about that. Nathan Front, I like that idea. Newfoundland tartan, that would be cool. Little bit busy for my look. I've kind of grown out of that kind of style, but Matcham says, are you missing working on the boat projects, Kyle? I'm not missing working on it time-wise. It has been so nice to not have it sitting there bugging me. Because it was, it was sitting there all winter, and I started it too late as it was. By the end, I was pushed, as you guys know, to get it ready for the Canada Day stuff. But it was sitting there kind of nagging on me. But here doing the pushing on the knife work and drilling, it's been all week at the knife work, And I'd been saying, man, I got to get at that boat. I got to finish the boat. It's not going to be ready for the summer. The family is not going to have a boat for the summer. And so it was kind of, the project was sort of nagging at me. So it's been nice having it out of my hair. It's functional. I can come here in the shop and I can focus. And it's not taunting me there. I'm not looking at it through the glass being taunted. So, yeah, it's been nice in that fact. But I really do miss the fab work. That style, that working with the aluminum, really, really miss that. Because just creating like that, creating something from nothing, just raw materials, tubing, flat sheet, plate, anguin, that kind of stuff, and just cutting and grinding and fitting and welding and just making something up here where there is nothing, I love that. That is my game, definitely. It's kind of what all my work pushes towards. And so I miss that. And I'm really excited. I'm looking at the boat and using it. I can see I'd like to do this here and I'd like to add this here and drawing up plans for the winter. So I'm missing a little bit. It was nice having it out of here. Anything else on the go in the other shop? Nothing right now other than a whole kitchen full of cabinet doors. We're doing some renos at the house, at my own house. So that's where some of my spare time is going. Oh, is Kathleen? Oh, yeah, I see there. Hey, Kathleen, welcome. Father and son outdoors. Hey, buddy. Everything is going great. It's been such a great summer. You know, we have taken such a rapid turn in temperature. I think last week I was on air complaining about the vicious heat. We were in like a heat wave. And then within 24 hours of that, we had frost warning. And it's been cold ever since, down low teens Celsius, which I think is like 40s Fahrenheit. Hey, Rocco is here. Welcome, my friend. A couple more weekends of cod fishing. Yes, our government was so gracious to let us fish for another couple weekends in the year. Beautiful thing. Tim Converse. Oh, Rocco, hey, buddy. Tim Converse, I have a bake apple with a pocket clip sheath. The sheath has gotten very loose and the knife falls out easily. Any idea to help with this? We could send you out another sheath, or you could rivet the top or throw an extra stitch in the top, little further in on the welt, or you could try to wet mold it. Those are pretty much your three options. A lot of people wet mold. Now, I don't get many people coming back asking about loose sheets. Occasionally, very occasionally, it happens. It's probably happened less than 10 times in my whole knife making career. But most people actually email me to ask if they can wet mold it. So most people are coming with an idea already. If you have the ability, wet molding works great for a time. Of course, leather will stretch and relax out. That's going to happen a little bit over time anyway, so it'll loosen up a little bit again. But those are your options. Yeah, wet molding is a good option. I like it. But just know that it will work a little loose again. Actually, what I like when I wet mold leather, I like to kind of rapid dry it a little bit or even bake it. And it actually draws a little bit of moisture out of the leather. And the leather goes really hard. Snuck, snuck, snuck. It's goes really hard. You can click, click, click on the leather. And it just snaps almost like a little bit of a Kydex snap. And it's nice. A little rehydration then on the surface. I won't saturate it with like a liquid oil, but like a mink oil on the surface is great. Chad, buddy, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you hanging out here. Gonna miss you again tonight, buddy. But you enjoy your evening. Everybody likes Chad. Chad's a staple here in the live stream. How about a wet molding video? I've been tempted but fearful of corroding the forge finish. If I was going to wet mold, what I would do in the times that I've done it in the past with, and I haven't done it in a long time, but If I wet mold, actually I wet molded a sheath for a buck 110 recently. It wasn't like a flip top. I usually do the folding top with a snap. I didn't do that style of sheath. It was like an open top, and I molded the sheath to the buck, so all in around the blade. So what I'll do, and what I do with my fixed blades whenever I have to wet mold them, is I wrap them in like cling wrap, saran wrap, and it's perfect because it's so paper thin. You can stretch it 2, 3, 4 layers over the knife. And that actually works well because when you wet mold it, the knife just has the teeniest little bit of extra bulk. And because when you wet mold it and then you take your knife out and you bake it or let it dry, it's just going to cinch in a little bit. So it's nice to have that little bit of barrier there. So cling wrap works really well. It's the way I've done it. It's the way I did it with the buck the other day. Wrapped it in. Some wax on the blade. Yeah, that would work. I don't, buddy. I haven't had any issues with it because it isn't like you're submerging it in the sink to wet mold it. You're, I run the sheath, would run it like under the tap a little bit, maybe fill it up real quickly and dump it out. And you can see the leather when it kind of changes color and darkens. Then it's good and it's soft and really supple. And then you just put your knife in, wrapped in saran wrap, and you start working it. And I still use all kinds of different tools for molding. I've got lots of like modeling tools, molding tools, all different shapes, shaped ends. But sometimes you're trying to wet mold around an object that is a little different shape. So I'll look around, and if it's the butt of a chisel or like the end of a Sharpie, if that's I'll grab whatever's the right shape and start working it. And it'll dry really quickly. You'll be surprised. Yeah, that's the way I go about it. A vacuum sealer, interesting. I bet that would work just fine. Yeah. Rocco's got experience with it. So, and Rocco's got a few knives. Speaking of knives and Rocco, I got to show you a knife here. Hang on. Oh, one sec. I don't even have it here. One sec, guys. I have lots of knives going up on the site very soon, within the next few days. But I mentioned Rocco because I was thinking about Rocco just today. So Rocco bought not too long ago a very beautiful mini tradesman with a polished blade, if I remember correctly, and a piece of like Galaxy, not Kieranite. I can't remember the name of the material. It's a synthetic. It's very black and gray, silver, white swirling in the material. Well, there was just a little piece of that material left, and we inlaid it into a white pearl tuckamore. Blacked out leather, just that USMC black. Let's have a look at this. This is a tuckamore in Scandi grind. And it's in the white pearl. It's like a silver white pearl with that inlaid material. Rocco, a little piece left over from that project of yours. Again, this is Scandi grind. So we have forge finish on the flats. Really nice finished Scandi grind. But have a look. What do you think of that, Rocco? This material, hard to show on this camera, of course, but just wild. Yeah, it does look like a Galaxy. It's just wild metallic, all kinds of swirls. That white pearl, you can't really see. It doesn't do justice on here either, but really, really slick. And that white pearl is a synthetic called Kieranite, which actually feels really nice in the hand. It's not slick and slidey as you would imagine. It's actually really, it's got a bit of a warm, tacky feeling. Got a lot of bite in the hand. But just a beautiful, beautiful knife. Black liners, black separators between the material. Nickel hardware. I think that's a handsome piece, but I brought it up because of that knife. I was thinking about Rocco just today when I was finishing up this knife. I was thinking about that gorgeous mini T that he has. And I was thinking that how cool that material is. First time I've worked with it, but absolutely love it. Let me show another. Oh, thank you, Mike. That is so very kind. This is another beautiful piece. I'll show this one because they're not twins. They're totally different, but similar color schemes. So this is another Tuckamore, that USMC black, and it looks pretty simple. Got a nice black G10 handle here. But when it comes out of its sheath, we have a white pearl up front, the same white pearl that's on the other one. And then this is going to be layered micarta here, black and white. And then we have black G10, that nice textured G10. Black G10 spacers. And again, this is forge finish Scandi grind. And these aren't custom builds, guys. These are available at this point in time. So I photographed them today. So they have all the studio shots. I've just got to get to editing those and getting them up on the site. That's always a little bit of a delay there. But these are available. If you're interested, you can shoot me an email. I'll write it there in the chat right now. Kyle@np-inc.ca. There it is. But yeah, Scandi grind. I don't do a ton of Scandi grinds, but I like them. I like them. Of course, you can't go wrong with a Scandi grind. Stropped and Dangerous. I knew you were going to love that angled spacer. Absolutely. I thought about you when I was working on it. Yeah, it's a really beautiful piece, Rocco. The fit and finish on it is just about flawless. It is really a really nice piece. Speaking of the angled spacer, there's a new project coming up, and I won't talk too much about it here right now. There's a new project coming up, and it's been mentioned in the live stream here a couple times, a very special project called the Beothic. Now, that brings me to a new topic that I wanted to discuss. If you go to knknives.ca, this week there appeared a new tab, maybe some of you guys have seen it already, titled the Collectors Series. Am I glitching there? I'm seeing myself shimmy across the screen and freeze up a little bit. If you could confirm audio and video, that would be great. There's a new tab called the Collectors Series, and that is a place you can go on there and read all about it. And it's being built out as we speak, so it's getting more added to it, hopefully each day. But there's going to be a completed project section where I'm doing write-ups and documentation on older projects. And then there's going to be a section on there. You can see there's one build already on there now, the Beothic project, where you can read about really high-end, like group builds or batch builds, numbered collectors series from K Knives. And these won't be just your average run-of-the-mill standard knife with a single color G10 handle. These will be specialized premium. Most cases, it could be the first run of a new model, all limited edition. Sometimes the batch might be 2, sometimes it may be 10, but the project will be listed on the Collectors Series tab. And this is kind of a new sector of K Knives, a different cut. It's a way of, although K Knives has been building really special premium builds for many, many years. And you guys have seen the elaborate custom projects, the ceremonial daggers and the Scottish dress pieces and really cool designs, really unique stuff. I'm just working now to separate that tier of work off by labeling it the Collector's Series. And I'm even working on having the Collector's Series work, the steel, is going to have its own stamp. So the very first project listed on the Collector's Series tab is the Beothic project coming up. And you can go on there and read all about this blade that's been prototyped. You can see a picture there. Pictures coming soon as it develops. You can read about the dimensions and the plans. And I just think it's a very nice way for you guys to, it helps get more information to you guys to get things a little more clear. And then you're not as dependent on me, as some of you guys have kindly pointed out. I'm trying to filter so much through email where you need me. And I keep letting you guys down on speed, because if you email about a project like that, which everyone is forced to, you've just kind of got to sit and wait on me. And my time is limited. There's only so many I can get back to in a day. And so if you can go there, and you'll notice there's a inquire button and a deposit button. So if you do feel like you absolutely need more information, you can hit the inquire button. It'll take you to a form to reach me very simply. And if you don't need anything more from me, and you just know you need to get in on this historical build project right now, you don't need any more, because this is a limited series. There's only, say, 10 spots, 10 pieces that are going to be numbered, and just very special, very exclusive. You don't need to filter through me and wait 3, 4, 5 days and hope I'm going to get back to you before they're all sold or whatever. You can hit, if you want to secure it, you can hit boop, make your deposit, and that piece is reserved for you. It's a very nice way. The website there, the tab is still being built out. Everything is being dialed in. It'll improve, but that is available to you. The bird and trout would be put up there hopefully this week, that project, as well as the Remembrance Day Puko project. We've been talking about that for a while. That's going to be put there as well, with all the information and graphics that I can give at this point. So you're going to get lists of handle materials, dimensions, any images that are available, that type of thing. So, okay, I can see that I'm missing some messages, but I just caught Rocco says he used that service last night and he loves the PayPal. I'm guessing the pay button, just so convenient. That is the goal. Convenience for you guys and for me as well. I saw when Rocco punched that in, it just popped up my email. Bloop, deposit has been made on this build project for this person. You are written in the build books. It's not nearly as valuable as the Lamb's Book of Life, but but it's signed and done once you do that. So I'm really happy about that. I've been getting some feedback from you guys, very valuable feedback, and helping me steer this ship, which is great. Gerald says Kyle's website is getting too good. Buy your cane knives now before it gets any more famous and costs go up. I'm doing my very best. If they go up, it won't be because of fame. It will be because of material prices, I would imagine. Matcham says, Mike says Kyle's kept his prices so reasonable. Like I said, I do my very best. Okay, Gerald, thanks for clarifying, buddy. I try to keep them as good as possible. Hey, Scott, Mr. Stapleton is here. How you doing, buddy? Big fan of Mr. Scott Stapleton. I saw your email, Scott, as soon as it came in the other day. And was it yesterday or the day before? And I'm doing great, Scott. I can't speak for everyone here. If everyone wants to comment how they're doing. Job Danger says he likes the pre-sale idea for the web page. Much less back and forth hassle. Absolutely. Of course, for full-on custom build projects where you need something that's not on the site that you haven't seen before, you've got this idea floating up in your head. There's no way to go about that other than contact me and we hash it out. But if most of my email correspondence could be kept or limited to that type of work, it would just help me devote more time to that and less to a lot of the little stuff. There's something I realized just recently. I've gotten a couple emails from guys that have 2 or 3 year old bake apples. I think 2 in the last week that are like older builds, 2023 purchases, I believe. And they both spoiled their sheath. One actually, I think, lost their knife and was submerged for a while and soaked up the sheath. And another one, fellow accidentally cut through his sheath or destroyed it somehow. And they had to, and this is my fault. This is a poor move on my part. They had to contact me and arrange to get a replacement sheath. And I know Strapped and Dangerous is no, he doesn't have a beard. I don't think, do you, buddy? You're not pulling out your beard. That is a problem because you shouldn't have to go and wait for my email correspondence and have a bunch of communication just to get a replacement sheath. You just want to get your sheath replaced so you can get moving again. And this is this bottleneck that it's filtering through me. So I obviously need to go now and build this ad on the site so you can easily just purchase a base model replacement sheath. I built the ad for the new pocket clip sheath so you can buy the upgraded sheath, but some people just need a replacement sheath. And so those improvements need to happen if I'm going to keep progressing, pushing forward, and moving out more product for you guys and getting quicker on the emails and that type of thing on important things, then need to get away from you needing to speak to me for all those little things that should just be automatic, you know? Let me check here. I've been yammering again, so I'm missing let me see if I missed any up here. Kathleen says she watches for the guitar, the boat, and the beautiful knives. Great. Thanks for being here, Kathleen. This guitar, this is really cool. I was hoping Mr. Garrow was going to be here tonight. He's the guitar expert, but this is a really cool old piece that I've done a ton of work on. And I finally just got it on the go. It's been sitting here in the shop for months now. And I said, I think I had about a half hour before the stream. I said, I think I'm going to put that guitar, finish putting it together and get it on the go because I love this old guitar. But I was hoping Mr. Garrow, Alan Garrow, was going to be here tonight. He's a guitar expert. He could tell me more about it than I know, I'm sure. Scott Stapleton, absolutely, buddy. Although I will get back to your email as well, absolutely. My inbox is looking pretty good. I've been putting a lot of work into it this week, and yeah, it's good. It's good. Ryan says he used grease. Great idea and includes sheaths. Such an inconvenience for something small. Absolutely. An inconvenience for the customer and for me. Because I want to keep you guys happy and keep you all set up, of course, and keep you running. Oh, Gerald is heading out. Yes, sir, buddy. Lots more steel coming in this video if you want to catch the remainder later. But thanks so much for stopping by. One more look at this beauty before we put it away. Strapped and Dangerous said, Kyle, for we loyalists, having easy early access to a first run numbered series is the cat's pajamas. I agree. I think it's a really, really nice idea. It's just going to work nice. It's the right direction to go for sure. Is Rocco talking about his piggyback set? Rocco, have I got something for you, buddy? I'm sorry if I'm missing messages, guys. I'm chatting away here, and ideas are flowing through my head as you guys are putting them out to me. Brent Hart, really have to thank you for the knife you did for me. It is so beautiful. That was trying to recall. I know it was recent, within the last couple of weeks, Brenton? I'm trying to picture this knife in my mind now. I could easily pull it up on my documents here real quick. Let's see. Jog my memory on the project so we can. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, real local. Real local. About an hour and a half from here. A buck 110 build. Very nice. Very nice. It's in like a jade colored. No, I think it would be a G10. It's really, really cool color. So Rocco, you got that set, I'm guessing, eh? And poor Strapped and Dangerous is still waiting for his. Oh, nice, Rocco. Glad you got that set up. Isn't that bake apple just something? With the file work and the brass. Would you prefer that one or the mammoth tooth? I'm curious. But you guys. This, do you remember on Rocco's recommendation? Do you remember this set? This incredible Warrior and Tuckamore set that actually wasn't built to be a set. We just had two sets of the same scales built at the same time. We said, let's put one, they're really nice scales. Let's put one set on a Warrior and see how it looks, one set on a Tuckamore and see how it looks. And when they're all complete, they make just about the perfect set. And I was debating whether or not to list them as a set or not. And Rocco mentioned they should be kept as a set, was his opinion, that they should be kept as a set. And even more so, a piggyback sheath setup. Whoa. Oh, we're going on a breakfast date. Matcham Metalworks just sent in a super chat. Very nice, buddy. Telling me to take the wife out for breakfast. I'm going to message her right now and let her know so she can hold me to it. Super chat from Mike. We have to go out for breakfast. Done deal. Thanks so much, buddy. Thanks so much, Mike. But as I was saying here, before that beautiful date came in, is this set has been paired with, and it's going to be listed and sold now as a piggyback set. That design that I pulled off with the tradesmen for those fine gentlemen, I recreated it for this beautiful Warrior and Tuckamore set, and they're going to be listed now as a set. I just did the studio photos. You see how quick I just put that set together? Very durable. But what a pairing, the Warrior and the Tuckamore. You can see it still keeps quite compact. It's not odious or beastly, even though these are, the Warrior is a big knife. The Tuckamore is a full-size companion, but still really slick. And the way they're designed, I'm sure Rocco could agree there now that he's held his in hand, although the skipper hasn't there yet. It's dropped and dangerous. The way it's set up is any pull is on against the rib here and not on the snap. So it's a really nice design. And the strap is wide enough, even if for some reason you were to lose those snaps, this is not able to just slide off the open strap. You've really got to work it through there. So it's made to be durable, to last, to hold up, to be secure, and so you don't lose any work. Brad, you got the family watching. Yes, I caught your message above. The boys got their eyes on that set. It is a beautiful set, and I know obviously it's going to be a higher ticket sell, but I think I've got to agree with Rocco that I can't split those up. They've got to be sold together and now in that piggyback set. I just really like it. Again, Matcham, buddy, thanks for that donation there. Much appreciated. I will certainly take the wife out for breakfast. I think someone mentioned, there it is, Rocco mentioned brunch. Bribing the wife. You guys are a great bunch. What a great bunch. It's always a fun way to spend Friday night. Rocco says the piggyback setup is amazing. It's still like carrying one knife. That is the goal, buddy. You're putting some beefy leather on those piggybacks? Yes, sir. Absolutely. Actually, you know what? On that note, I have gone up in leather weight. The last several hides that I've had, and I've been using the same weight leather for years now. The last several hides have not been quite as firm as I'd like. A little bit too supple. And I like a really, really rigid sheath. I want to hold at the tip and that sheath to stay straight, like if you starched it or something. I don't want kind of a soft, flappy sheath. And so after the last hide was a little bit softer, I said, that is it. The next hide, I'm going to order a heavier weight and see what happens. And it has brought the stiffness back that I was getting last year, in my hides. I've gone to a heavier weight. I don't know exactly what's going on because I buy very high grade premium hides. I don't know why they've been a little softer, but they have been. And so I've gone to a heftier leather, a heavier hide. And yeah, as you can see, it's, oh, isn't that beautiful? Quality leather work is just so beautiful. But these are stiff. You can see I'm holding just the Warrior sheath there with all that weight on it. It's barely pulling a flex in the sheath. That's what I want from my leather work. That's what I expect. That Warrior, that piggyback set there is available as well. It will go up on the site when I can get the time to get those studio photos up and build out the ad. Hopefully over the weekend now. If somebody wants the set before it goes up on the site, you can go ahead and contact me just as usual. You guys know the drill here now. You guys know the drill. Strapped and Dangerous, I'm glad you appreciate the heavier leather. It's nice that people notice those little things there. Sometimes you wonder. I shoot for the higher standard regardless, even if I don't get any requests. Nobody, I don't think, contacted me and said, listen, my leather's a little too thin or a little too soft. But I knew, or I know the feel that I want in the product going out. I know the result I want. If I'm not getting it, if it's not meeting my standard, I'm going to change it out. If we're having trouble with, I've ordered whole batches of handle material, several sheets, which is not cheap, several sheets, and started working with it. And first handle or two, just was not happy, was not up to Cane Knife standards, and the material was basically thrown out. I think there's still a couple sheets of it now sitting there that is years old, and the couple knives that were completed. I think one or two of them is still up on the shelf, and one of them I think I gave to my uncle. I said, he won't care. But I'm very, I've had a number of times knives roll off the line that aren't quite up to Cane Knife spec. And I've had people ask for, like, why don't you list them as scratch and dent or as like second tier or something like that. But I do not want my work going out there. If it's not up to Cane Knife standards, I do not want it representing Cane Knives. I don't want it out there. Does that mean every piece that rolls out of the Cane Knives shop is absolutely flawless? No, it does not. Quality control cannot be 100%. But I push very hard to meet a certain standard. Strapped Dangerous, I'm going to need a piggyback sheath for a Prevail and tuck. Ooh, that's a nice idea. That would be a great setup too. And the Prevail would be, yeah, that's a nice robust sheath to put, to hang another one off of. The Bird and Trout, no progress has been made in the last week. Like I said, we ran 2 batches of steel through the shop this week. So no progress on the Bird and Trout, other than I built out the official template after we have that knife. I drew the official template off of that this week, sketched it out on Kydex is what I really like for making my templates. And that's sitting there. And I'm going to actually take a picture of that template as well as the finished prototype. And that's what I'm going to use to put up on the Collector Series tab. When I build that tab out for the Bird and Trout, you're going to get all the dimensions. The handle material will be chosen. Everything will be picked. Just like I said, if you go there now, you'll see the one upcoming project that's currently listed is the Beothic. And I'd encourage you to go to caneknives.ca and just have a look at that page. First off, I think it's really fun. It's a beautiful page. You're going to see some awesome projects. But if you go down to the upcoming project section, you see the format, what's going on there. That is the format that will be used for the projects. That's how they'll look. So, yeah, I recommend you go check it out. That should be fun. Nathan likes the brass against the brown. Rocco says, if nobody else wants that set, send me the price. And how about making a matching Bake Apple XL so I can switch between it and the Tuckamore? The Bake Apple just fits my hand better. Bake Apple XL is a cool piece, isn't it? Do you mean, Rocco, a Bake Apple XL, make one in the matching oak and orange? Is that what you mean? Because I can make it happen. Yes. Okay. Okay. I can do that. We'll see how the emails look. If we've got an email in the inbox fighting for that knife that superseded or preceded your message. I might have to give them first chance at it. Sold to Mike Matcham. A Bake Apple XL and Scandi, we could do it. Understood, Ryan, understood. Brad King, I did miss that earlier. I'm glad to hear that you got your kitchen knife this week. How do you like that edge? I remember when that was rolling off the line, when I was just feeling that edge, and my kitchen knives, I love them tapered so nicely. I don't want much meat behind that edge at all. But I remember that edge just almost, once in a while you feel an edge. I do my best to put the finest edge on every knife that comes across. Once in a while you'll feel an edge, and it'll just almost make the hair stand on your neck. It'll give you the EBGBs, the creeps, just feeling how just to touch it feels like it wants to separate your skin. That's how I felt about that kitchen knife for Brad King that rolled off the line here. Just felt so crisp, so beautiful. I was very happy with that knife. Then you can shave the hairs off when they stand up like that. That's right. I worked on this week. I got to rebuild a straight razor. And it's been a few years since I've rebuilt a straight razor, but I love straight razors. And Whetstone lapped it up to 12,000 and then stropped. And that edge is just creepy. So fine, so sharp. And when it's that sharp, you can do something called tree topping, which if you imagine if this is the roots of your hair, or this is your skin, this hand here, you have the hairs here. So to run your blade across the skin like this and shave the hairs is one thing, but they're kind of, you're pushing against, they don't have a lot of choice. If that edge is really sharp, it's going to scrape the hairs off. But what's really sharp is if you could do something called tree topping, is if these knives are dangling like this, you can take your blade and just clip, 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 clip as they fold in the air. And just with the weight of the hair holding against your blade, you can clip them. And that is the level of sharp you require for a straight razor. So you don't need to scrape against the skin, just in midair. You can hold the blade and take a hair. Well, I'm demonstrating with my own, but I can't grab much here now. If I take one of my girl's hairs, and I just let it fall across the blade, it will just fall over the blade, that kind of sharp. That with a knife, in my opinion, is so hard to do. So hard. Unless you've reground that knife to be very, very thin, it's very hard to get with a knife, any knife. I've done it a couple times. I've spent a lot of time on the Whetstone and on an edge and really dialed it in perfectly. And it's nice, but it's hard to do. But of course, if you've ever seen a straight razor, the edge is literally paper thin. The last, half inch of blade as it approaches the edge is as thin as paper. So it's really nice. You've got such a thin edge and then such a thin angle profile. It's a beautiful thing. Just scrolling up here, Rocco, you mailed out those items. Great. Look forward to taking a look at that, buddy. Hair splitting. Yeah, that whittling. Just run up over the hair like that and just split it. Split the hair in half. Really, really freaky. Prevail or Warrior, thoughts or opinions for those who own both? I think a number of you guys here own both. For me, I would go Warrior if I had to choose. I think I would personally choose Warrior. Let me come back. If you already own the Bake Apple or the Tuckamore or a Tradesman or a Yellow Fox or something like that, I would go right to Warrior. So I have two ends kind of the spectrum. I have a thinner, smaller, nice usable knife, really nice companion knife. Then I have that big knife that's big enough to even do some chopping. It's not a huge, long blade. So you don't have a lot of blade weight swinging out there. But if you could only have one knife, I would probably choose the Prevail. The Prevail has the heft of the Warrior, but it's still small enough in body that you can use it like the Tuckamore. It's very, very usable knife, very nice in a hunting scenario, in a bushcraft scenario, around the camp. The Prevail is going to be a real nice option if you only have one knife to carry. Whereas the Warrior is a little bit large for some of that type of stuff. I have considered it. I remember earlier this summer you sent me a link. Just in the past week, I went hunting for some of that stuff, and I could not seem to find exactly the right thing. I could not find something that seemed legitimate. Is there a different Uline for US? Because I could not seem to find it. I'll take another look. I was definitely, especially at 8 cents a sheet, would definitely be interested as long as the look was decent too. But because I usually ship the knives in the sheath. Yeah, there's some nice stuff on the site right now. You head to knknives.ca. It's well stocked. We've got some great stuff here on the shelf. You should check it out. But let's have a look at a few more knives, guys. We're running out of time here. This one I thought about Strapped and Dangerous for, because Strapped and Dangerous has the Prevail in Kieranite, in this same color Kieranite. And now we have a Scandi grind in that same camo Kieranite. Ooh, I got to watch my fingers there. Talk about a sharp edge, just vicious. But we have, like I said, forge finish flats, Scandi grind edge in that Kieranite to match your Prevail, buddy. Rocco says he stabbed himself the other day with that very pointy gray bony knife. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yikes. I hope you're healing up. I hope it wasn't too serious. Hey, Mike, we sold another one. Yeah, I was thinking when I finish this one up today, and this Kieranite needs quite a bit of work to get right. I've got it. I run it on a wet sand, very high grit belt, and then buff. And when I finished, I said, "Oh, what a pairing with Strapped and Dangerous Prevail! Really cool." Strapped and Dangerous, would you agree the Kieranite, although it looks glassy, in your mind you're picturing it hard like glass, where it's almost slick and would be a little bit unnerving in your hand, but it's actually really, I want to say gummy, like it's actually fairly hard to work with because the belts want to melt it. If you don't have a really sharp belt or water cooling, it wants to melt it because it's a little bit on the softer side. So it's really grippy in the hand, kind of sucks to your hand. It's nice. Yeah, you guys like the Scandi grind. That's good. Blue Dog asks, do I make a fillet knife? Do a lot of meat smoking? I have to trim. Have something better for trimming. I do not. I have fillet knife patterns, filleting knives, they call them here. I have filleting knife pattern drawn up here that I plan to bring to production before too long. But I don't have really a production model that's a great option for that. I had a guy here the other day, actually, that was wanting me to build a brisket knife for him. Smokes a lot of brisket. He wants kind of a longer prop. I don't think I'll do a serrated edge. I think I would prefer a coarse grit straight edge. But it's definitely something we could build for you, Blue Dog. If you want something custom built, something real classy for around the smoker, I'd love to build something. A filleting knife was in the plans for this year. It was indeed. Rocco's taking care of the cuts with the duct tape. This guitar is actually fairly hard to play, guys. It was built in, where's that stamp? 1973 in Japan. And it needs to be like hammered. And it's a hard switch when I come off of my Godin. They're built in Quebec, very fine guitar. When I come off the Godin is a very delicate guitar. You can play it very softly, and it just feels every movement of the pick. It just feels it's easy to get every note. This guitar likes to be almost pounded. You've really got to work to get every note out. And let's have a look at another couple pieces of steel. Me 3 on the Scandi. What I must have missed what was said about the Scandi. You guys, I hope you're not getting in too many accidents, too many cuts. There's a lot of injuries being talked about here. Do I put my own tunes in my videos? I used to way back in the day, way back in the old day, but not anymore. Not anymore. Let's see. Oh, sheesh. I've got to get going. There's some nice stuff here. How about a saber grinding forge finish? We have a maple burl, and this is actually a fusion, and you will tell when I flip to this side, and you've got that epoxy fusion there. Black G10, brass hardware, and look at that orange, those orange veins that run through there. Really cool piece. Again, this will head to the site soon, but this piece, I just think it's awesome. The orange is so sharp, although this doesn't show too vibrant here, but really cool piece. I won't spend too much time, but it's available if you're interested. How about this piece? We have some brass. I know you guys like the brass. We love it here as well. It's in the black G10. And we have a piece of black fusion. So this is going to be some maple burl along with a black metallic epoxy in there. And then, of course, the brass. Just a really fine piece, forge finished saber grind. Classy, classy. You imagine around a campfire, your buddy's over there, and you pull that one out, and the fire is just twinkling off those brass inlays. Man. How about the campfire dancing off this one? Let's have a look at this piece. Let's have a look at this piece. Brace yourselves here. Brace yourselves. These are fitting snug in that. We have a Tuckamore. Trying not to touch the blade too much. In full mirror polish. This is saber, so a flat grind, and it's in that fusion. So this is a match set. So this is a natural set. We cut, separate it. And it's hard in these fusions to show the metallic on camera. It's Michael says that's for a man with ivory buttons. It's hard to show the metallic swirl, but this piece has enough. It just worked out to have enough epoxy there that you can see it oh so richly. Full polish. Look at that. Let's see if we can show the chat there. Yeah, there's the chat. And a really, really fine polish on this piece as well. Really happy with the polish. But just a stunning piece. Can you imagine the campfire glistening off that beauty? Again, available, guys. This was just made for you guys to enjoy. So, just checking that edge. That's lovely. That's lovely. How much is this one? I don't have it priced just yet, buddy. Let's throw a bottleneck in there. You shoot me an email, and I'll get robbed at the campfire. I would hope not. Not in the way this sheath grips onto the knife. For this piece in the fusion mirror polish, you're talking probably mid 400s. I would think. I'll have to consider that, but that's what I would think it would sit around. Let's get to a couple bake apples. Again, I don't think anything on here except for the ones that have been spoken for on the live stream tonight. So that camo Kieranite one is gone. This set, I believe, is gone. You shoppers, Rocco, the sheaths were finished, I believe, yesterday. You are dead on the money. Sheaths were finished yesterday, as well as there was a little touch-up needed on the handle. There was a little mar on the handle that I had to fix up there. So that was done yesterday evening. So I'm thinking they should be ready to go out, buddy. I confirm for sure, but if they are not already gone, but they ought to be ready to go out. They were completely finished yesterday. Edge touched up, final look over, clean up. Do you? You guys are funny. You guys are funny. I think you'll like them. I'm excited to get your opinions on them. What you think of them? They are fun pieces for sure. Let's have a look at some beautiful bake apples. We'll end it off with some bake apples. This one is in a beautiful blue curly maple. But if you look at it from the top dimension, it's set up really nice with a set of liners. Look at that. Anyone who's big into the blue, this is just a glowing blue. Very, very nice bake apple. clean. One of one, only one of these to go up on the site. Something with that much liner work, that type of deal like there, would never be like a regular production color. That would be a disaster, but it's a beautiful piece. And just like that, we have a couple beautiful bake apples here. Have a look. Polished bone, red burlap, all set up with the pretty liners and spacers and brass hardware. Isn't that just a clean color combo? Just so classy. The burlap keeps it just toned down enough that it doesn't have to be just for a man with ivory buttons, as Michael's saying. And then to pair with it, we have the polished bone, brass, and the natural micarta. I'd love to hear you guys vote here on the stream. Which is your pick? The bone and the red or the bone and the natural? Same saber grind, forge finish. Really nice pieces. I'd love to hear. Wait, which one did I have on top? Say red or brown, or red or natural. We've got to vote for natural. Another one for the natural. Okay, so we're 2-0. Oh, no, 2-2. 3-2 for the brown. I kind of think on this one, I would go with the red. The red just has a snap to it, just an eye catch. And it's not like a silly red. It's not a cheap red. It's just really nice, classy, almost a burgundy red. And I just think it adds a pop next to the polished bone. I think the red would be my choice on this one. But I asked for you guys to vote. Rocco's asked, I forget, is the Bake Apple XL the same steel thickness as a regular Bake Apple? No, the Bake Apple XL is a 16th thicker. It's a heftier piece. I haven't built one in a little bit now. I would love to hold one. I would love to hold one again. They're so beautiful. Rocco, you have that one with the bog oak and the green mammoth molar inlay, don't you? Didn't that one go to you? I can check my notes and sheets, of course. I have every build documented, serial numbered, all the information on it. But I just curious there. Yeah, okay. That was a great knife. I loved that knife so much. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Yeah. Hey, Lon, buddy, did you get my, I sent you a couple of emails, I think, this week. One in response to yours and then another one to check in. It was regarding the Beothic project, which we talked about earlier in the stream. I don't know if you were here or not, but if you go to the KN Knives website, knknives.ca, there's a beautiful new tab up top called the Collector's Series. And you can go and read about what the Collector's Series means exactly, and it'll describe everything. But if you scroll down to upcoming projects, you will see the brand new Beothic project listed there. And you can read all about it. There's a couple handy buttons, either to make a deposit or inquire if you need to know more. But Lon, I know you were interested in the Beothic project. So you can go, I highly recommend you go there and check it out. Rocco, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. I wonder, I guess you would have to do like a Zoom, like a video conference type thing. That could get a little crazy to manage. That could get a little bit wild. I don't think there's a way for you guys to throw up pictures here. But that would be cool. If I could have... We need to have a complete online catalog. What do you mean by a catalog, Strapped and Dangerous? I'm just thinking over that concept there, Rocco. There's probably a way for me to show them off because anything that would have studio shots, um, I could, if I had another device here, I could pull them up on a drive and share them. Or if I live stream through like OBM or something, I could put up images on the screen and we could stare at them and talk about them, past projects and that type of thing. That's not a bad idea. I would have to have a different computer set up, but that would be cool. I could throw up a picture of that Bake Apple XL that Rocco owns with the bog oak, the ancient oak, and that lime green molar. Or Strapped and Dangerous has the is it black walnut on the back? I built those 5 or 6 warriors there. I think it was last year, and they all had different color mammoth molar up front. And I think Strapped and Dangerous, if I remember, has that same green mammoth molar as half of his handle. Desert ironwood. There you go. And, where I could throw that image up and we can talk about it. And that would be fun. That would be fun. So, Strapped and Dangerous says we need to have a complete online catalog, an archive of everything you build, including pictures. Like you want to see every, like a gallery, a running gallery and write up of every piece. That would be a big undertaking. At least the customs, yeah. That's kind of what I'm hoping to accomplish to a degree with the collector series. So for the really high end work, the special pieces, I would hope to put them up under the collector's series tab. And just like if you go to the collector series tab on the site now and you look at the completed projects and you'll see a write-up, I'm hoping to keep that format running. So there is a catalog of all of those special pieces. And I've got so many builds now where I have studio pictures where I'm going to put up the write-up of them so you can read about them and look at the pictures and look at the information. But that would be, I'm looking forward to sharing those builds and those stories with you guys. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Do you have much cut-off material? I was thinking you could make some neck knives or off-cut material. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like steel? Something really teeny, compact? But definitely. Actually, I have a bunch here right now that I've been wanting to do that with. Maybe we should do a run of that for some good fun, and that would be fun going into the fall. I'm looking forward to getting a bunch of those up on the site for you guys to enjoy, though. A 1.5-inch blade, something teeny like that would be awesome. Would you lean Kydex for them? I've got loads of Kydex here, but I don't really like working with Kydex. I don't enjoy Kydex. The final product I'm never quite sold on, and I've had Kydex from other makers. I just never could really get into it. Yeah. Have I mentioned that before? Let's do it. Let's do a run. And something like that I could get for quite a nice price for you guys. Something that's, like an everyman's knife. Not totally elaborate, not full polished blades or something like that. It's not as bad as my skin crawling. I've got a whole bunch of Kydex in the shelf here right now, different colors and patterns and stuff. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I'm also, I think part of what gets me is what it does to blades when you get a little grit in there. Oh, horrific. The blades faces that I've repaired, Bark Rivers, that beautiful Bark River convex grind, just that beautiful. They do a really fine striation on their finish. Then you rake that down into a Kydex sheath with a couple bits of sand in there, and just like you key the side of a car, just rip right up the side of the blade. Oh. A raw steel handle, like a skeletonized handle, that's how you'd prefer to keep it? Do I do Kydex rants? I don't remember getting on this before, but that's all right. Are they in Kydex, Rocco? I hope they're not in Kydex. Actually, I can repair them for you. So just whatever is the case. Okay, they're in leather. Whew. That's not a bad idea. Could probably create some problems of its own, but that's not a bad idea. If you're, yeah. Anyways, guys, we're an hour and 22 minutes in, and I have not slacked since I don't know what time early this morning. I got up and jumped on the computer early. I started, we're doing some house renovations. I was at that until just after 1. I grabbed a bite and I came straight to the shop, and I've pretty much been here working flat out ever since. And it is 20 minutes after 9 at night here. But I got to say, I sure enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I enjoyed showing you guys all these beautiful knives I have here. Really proud of the work that's coming out of the K Knives Workshop. Really proud of the website goings on and things progressing there. Keep an eye there. Check out the new tab for the Collectors Series. If you want to shoot me an email and inquire about any of these pieces, you can. Those of you who want to grab one of these pieces who asked for one tonight, if you want to shoot me an email, that would be great. Bluefin, you missed the show. You can watch it back if you like, buddy, but I know it's different than watching it live. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me. Just skimming the comments here. Rejoice always, Rocco says. Not the words of Rocco, of course, the sacred scriptures. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. And that comes from Thessalonians. Thank you, Rocco, for sharing the scripture here with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Brad, if you and your family are still sitting around, Mr. King family, it's been nice having you here this evening. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Be safe. And can't wait to talk to you guys and email with you guys and mail stuff out to you guys. All good fun, guys. Have a great weekend.